Hey Flosstube, Danielle here. My pronouns are she, her. Today is December 5th, Thursday, December 5th. And this is the first clip in my December vlog. So, as you can probably notice or see, I had a new start. I saw on Instagram, and I'm gonna have to put their handle in on the screen because it's not coming to me off the top of my head. I know it starts with hoops and there's UK in there, like maybe hoops and crosses. I don't know. I'll put it on the screen. But I saw they designed this Home Alone stitch along, and it started releasing in November. Excuse me. The last part came out November 29th, and by the time I saw the second release, I was like, I'm sold. I need this in my life. And I was like, and I think I need to start it this year. So I did. So far, I have done everything called for, except it's charted in DMC. And the only thing that I have modified so far is this hat is not supposed to be backstitched. Like, this is backstitched because that's like the ribbing of the hat. But as you can see, like this color right here is just too close to my fabric. And so I was like, I'll just backstitch around the hat. I am debating backstitching the words Home Alone because close up and under good light, it shows up really well. But like when I get like, I don't know that I'm gonna be able to like, all I know is that like when I see the piece, like when it's sitting on my table and I'm like looking over towards it, I can't see it very well. So I'm considering adding backstitch to the words, but I decided I had enough backstitching for the evening just to get the required backstitching in, and I was like, I will leave that decision for future me. So let me know what you think. Like, it just goes, it goes more like, I'm looking at it in the camera and then I'm turning my face to just look at my stitching, not through the camera. And it's like so much lighter just looking at the fabric. So I don't know. I don't think I would backstitch it in black just because I think that would be like so stark. But maybe the $37.99 that's in here. Yeah. I don't know. You tell me. I picked out this picture, this Plus Heartland 14 count. Yeah. In the next part, there's his sweater. There's the house front door. There's a bunch of backstitch text. There's the tarantula, the shovel and garbage can. Yeah. So I've really been enjoying this, but I'm gonna set it down because I have a lot that I would like to accomplish in December. And I know that I didn't talk about December plans in my last video, but I can now. So we're gonna set this down, and we're setting it down to pick up Stitch for Pride. It is the last block for Stitch for Pride. I am so like proud of myself for keeping up with this. And I picked out my floss color a couple months ago. I had been, so originally I was like, oh, come here, Q-Snap. Yeah, hi, ma'am. So originally I was like, I'll just stick as close to the called for as I can. Well, that was great until March when the Sriracha bottle was introduced, because that was like such a heavily variegated floss. And I was like, I'm just gonna go with an obvious orangey red for Sriracha. And then in May, pretty sure this was May, yes, this was also a variegated thread. And so I was like, I will just go with gray, because barbed wire, you know, metal, gray, that makes sense. And then it was in that time frame, like May, June-ish, that I was like, hey, I could actually get like all the, you know, rainbow colors, Progress Pride flag colors on here. So then I started going with that as my intention. So when I was at Acorns and Threads, I believe it was when I was there in September. It was either September or October for sure. I picked out this Threadworks. Doesn't give me the number is covered by the acorn sticker. But look at this. So I knew that the last color that I needed was basically a white. And I was looking at floss and I was like, I don't want to use white. But like, at what point does white, you know, turn into like, at what point does the white turn into whatever hue it has? So if it has like a pinky hue, like when does it turn into pink? Or, and so I was like struggling a little bit, and I saw this Threadworks, which has just the most subtle, you can see there's yellow, pink, green, like bluey purple. And I was like, I think that when you you know, like uncurl this and actually stitch it up, especially because I'm gonna loop start it, because I love to loop start. That's my preferred way of stitching. This is not there. Rude. Here we go. So like I mean, I could. This is also a Threadworks, and I did pull 2 strands to do this because the variegation was very in line with the motif, the color for that month. But like, even if I do pull 2 strands though, I feel like this from a distance will definitely stitch up and look like white, because it'll be so, you know, when you just pull 1 strand, it's not nearly as bold as it is when it's all curled up like that. So yeah, I picked this out a couple months ago, and that's what's gonna go there in the middle. And then my Progress Pride flag color Stitch for Pride sampler will be complete. Yeah, very excited to stitch this up. It's a little under 1,400 stitches. I considered, and I guess I still have time to consider it some more, instead of, so the motif is based off of some pop, I can remember his last name. His last name is Indiana, but I feel like I'm gonna mess up his first name if I had to guess. But it's the iconic love with like the slanted O that got turned into, like, it was a painting and it got turned into a sculpture. There's also a hope sculpture in New York, which, funny enough, I passed by that thing so many times and could not, I either wasn't paying attention to take a picture, or I was like in motion and couldn't take a picture. So I never really got a picture of the Hope one in New York. But I considered stitching it. The way Dee charted it was that the letters LOVE are negative space. I considered stitching it in the positive space, but it actually doesn't save me any stitches. It's actually a few more stitches. It's like 20 to 25 more stitches to do the letters in the positive and not have a background. So I don't know, but I thought it would be kind of cool just because it would be a little bit different than everybody else's. So we'll see. I don't know that I'm gonna get anything done on this morning. It's 7:18 in the morning. I need to go to bed. I'm tired. But yeah. And then as for the rest of December, so I want to get this done because I'm like, this is not Christmassy. I am in like a Christmas mood. I kind of want to do like a Christmas like start and finish, but I don't know what. And then I need to get out the Nutcracker by RETM because that is my only whip that I have not touched this year, and I will be damned if I don't touch every whip this year. I know I didn't touch every whip in 2023. I don't know if I touched every whip in 2022 because I don't really remember my whip situation. But I feel like this might be the first year, like my first whole year, because I started in 2020. I have no idea what I did in 2021, other than I still have whips from 2021. But I feel like this might be the first year that I touch every whip since I've had around this whip count of like 20-ish whips. So that needs to come out. And then I have 2 whips that I started this year, the Twisted Rainbow sampler and the Butterflies and Borders sampler, that because they're so large, I did not get to 10%. I did not get to 10% when I started them. And this is a low priority goal for me, but I do think it would be nice to start. I'm just so happy with how this looks on here. This is gonna look so good. It would be nice to go into next year with every whip being above 10%. But I think that's a lower priority than like I would really like to stitch Christmas stuff. So that, and I'm pretty sure I talked about it in my last vlog, but I am reorganizing a spare bedroom to be my like new craft room, and it's going so well. I think I said, because this sounds familiar to my head, that I will film a separate Flosstube extra when the room is done. I've got IKEA shelving, or like IKEA cubbies, but they're stacked vertically, and that has like backup DMC, paper patterns. I'm gonna take my sulky threads that I've never used up there. And then I put empty project bags in the closet because they took up way too much room on the IKEA cubbies that I would just rather use for other things. And then I have 3 racks that have spinners on them, and that is housing all of my fancy floss. And right now I have all the fancy floss up except for dinky dyes, because my dinky dyes I have to floss drop them onto Pip and Chip floss drops. And then I built a wardrobe. So the wardrobe rack is like those metal shelves where like you put the little plastic thingy on the metal pole and then you just, you know, pound the metal shelf onto the little plastic thing. That's what holds it in place. So it's a shelf like that, but instead of multiple shelves, like 5 shelves that they usually have, this has a bar that hangs below the top shelf and a bar that hangs in the middle. In the middle, there's no shelf, just a bar. And then there's a bottom shelf. So I have 2 bars, basically. And I bought a bunch of hangers, and I'm hanging my fabric. I think I'm only going to get the 16 count and 32 count hung up, and that 14 count / 20 count will have to stay in a box, because I don't think I'm going to have room to hang those up too, because I have so much 32 and 16 count. But I've been working on that, so that's been taking some time away from stitching, although I'm not working on it as quickly as I could be. And then what I'm hoping will be the like piece de la resistance is I ordered a sign for the room. I'm gonna try to get some stuff hung up in there. Yeah, so I'm thinking it'll be a couple weeks, but you'll probably see that before you see this, so that's irrelevant. All right, it's been 17 minutes. I'm going to end this clip now and get this set up to stitch, and then probably go to bed. All right, I'll see you all in the next clip. Bye. Hey everyone. It is currently December 9th, Monday, and I have a finish. Maybe. This is Stitch for Pride, stitched on 16 count Determination, dyed by Jessie at Mislaid Pages, and the flosses were entirely from Stash, and it's finished. I just finished off the December motif, which is based off of the artwork by Robert Indiana, who was like a sculpture artist. And yeah, it's done. The only reason I say maybe is because in certain lights, the floss that I used for December is ghosting a little bit, and so I am considering adding a backstitch, at least around the outside. I don't know about the inside yet. So what I think I'm gonna do, and like, I know this isn't, I'm not showing this to the best of its capabilities, but I don't have 2 hands because I'm holding my phone with the other hand. But I'm considering excuse me, I could not potentially even take this to Acorns until the new year, which is still 3 weeks away. But realistically, I'm probably not going to take it to Acorns until the end of January. So what I think I'm going to do is, since I have plenty of like margin up here, is I'm going to tack this to my wall, like at just the very, very corner, as to not damage any usable fabric. I'm going to tack this to my wall and see how I feel about it, like looking at it from proper viewing distance, and just see how I feel about that center before I decide if I'm going to do the work to put in a backstitch. It looks pretty good here, but there's just definitely been some lights, like the picture that I took of it when it was all done, which did have flash, but it just ghosted a little bit. It especially ghosts to me like right in here, where it's just basically a single stitch or 2 stitch border. That's where I'm really struggling with it. But yeah, it's done. I'm so proud of myself that I stayed up with this stitch along. I did purchase 2025s, but I'm making no commitment as of right now as to if I'll stitch it or not. We'll just have to see. I just find that I don't want any obligation stitching. I want to stitch what I want when I want. But if I fall behind on a stitch along, that is the end of me. And then it'll sit in my whip pile for, 4 years. So I definitely wanted to keep up. It was definitely, sometimes it was a little bit more than I wanted, stitch count wise, particularly the Sriracha bottle and Edward Gorey and Molly Vaughn. I think I did do the hand one in one day. That was nice. But yeah, so it's done. So my plans right now, eventually I'm going to pull out the Nutcracker by RATM because it's the only whip that I haven't touched this year. And but my stitching is in timeout while I deal with Christmas cards. So I at least need to get half of my cards done before I pick up stitching. So that's the plan. There's my update, and I'll come back when I have an update on the Nutcracker. And I am still planning. I'm not really done decorating. Everything is out and on display, but it's not arranged. Not all of it is perfectly in place. I still need to get my village accessories out and put them on the table. I need to put my candles, my battery operated candles, into the things that need candles, stuff like that. So all right, I will check in later. Bye. Hey everyone. So today is Saturday, December 14th, and I finally am able to show you all of my Christmas decor, because I'm finally done both arranging it and getting batteries into everything. So going to start in my entryway. This is one of my 2 tables in the entryway, and pan up a little bit. My deer cross stitch, of course. I think I showed this in one of my clips because I was showing this off. That wreath with the spools is from Dr. Christie. And I just ordered some more spool decor from her. So actually, I think that once it gets here, that sort of blank spot between the silver candle holder and the tree, I'm gonna have a large angel. It's a large spool that she decorated to look like an angel. But yeah, so I think the Santa came from Kohl's. I have another one similar in another display. The joy sign came from Kohl's. I don't remember where I got the tree, but I know that it's Lennox brand. And it's a 12 Days of Christmas tree. But yeah, so this is one of my 2 tables in the entryway. And then, for the most part, I will edit out my moving around the house, but I just wanted to spin around slowly. So this is my other table in the entryway, and this was my grandmother's village. I don't remember the brand on these, but there's a toy shop and a church and a lodge, and then maybe it's 2 regular houses, I can't remember. And then this cute little lantern thing, I got this. So there's a holiday market where I live. It used to be the America's largest Christmas bazaar. Now it's called the Portland Holiday Market because the Christmas bazaar went bankrupt and so this new one came in. But I got that from there. There was a lady, she doesn't sell the wood pieces anymore because her husband had been the one to make them and he passed away. But you'll see I have another wood piece from her. But yeah, so it's very cute. I put it in my entryway. I think one year I tried to put it outside, but I just live in too windy of a place. But yeah, so that's my grandma's Christmas village. And now I'm going to move to a different place in the house. Okay, so these are my icicle lights. Yes, they are technically meant for outdoors, but we had bought these. And we did install them outside a couple times, but like honestly, we just really hate installing outdoor lights. So I brought them inside because all these rules are a social construct anyways, and they bring me a lot of joy. So this is sort of the loft half wall. And then I'll try to move slowly, but I'm just trying to not have to do too many cuts. This is my wreath wall. The red one came from my grandma, and then that picture that's there actually came from my husband's family. They've had it for a long time. And then I know there's like a glaring spot where something needs to go between wreath number 2 and wreath number 3. And I want something that matches the size of that picture there, but I just haven't found anything yet. But yeah, so that's my wreath wall. I started by just putting one wreath here at the bottom, like, well, it's not the bottom of the stairs, but it's at the landing. But then I had that second wreath, and we just literally cannot put anything outside because we get ferocious winds here. So we brought it inside, and then I was like, well, obviously I need a third wreath to make a wreath wall. So that's when I bought that big center one. It has a bunch of like gingerbread decor on it. And then you can see we're at my tree. So I'm gonna turn the camera to the vertical orientation so you can see the whole thing, kind of. There we go. Gotta go to that 0.5. So this is my tree. This is normally, I have a shelf here normally, but I pack it away for Christmas and put the tree here. Sad story, my tree is supposed to rotate, but there's something wrong with the rotating base. It could still rotate, but the lights blink. And blink is not even an appropriate word anymore. They flash. And they spend more time off than on. It's, yeah, we've had it for a few years. And so then I got on Amazon and looked up the reviews, and apparently we're not the only one who experienced this problem. So I don't know, I might buy a different rotating tree base for next year, but I will not be undecorating my tree just to put it on a new base. But I am very sad that it's not spinning because I really love my spinning tree. And then this is a 12 Days of Christmas quilted wall hanging that I believe found, yeah, it was from a Etsy seller who is like a reseller of stuff, like a thrift store online. Whoops, I went the wrong way. But yeah, I love that. So I put it up here next to the tree. That little decor came from a ornament swap that I'm in. All right, next space. So this is another decor table. You can see I have a lot of lighted things on it. I'll get in close here in a second. So this snowman with lights is also from the person who did the lamppost down in the entryway. But the reason why I have the two trees, you can see like there's one hiding back there and then this big one. The reason why I have them is because the light up piece that I used to have from her was not the snowman. It was a tree, but it was like in this skinny shape like the snowman is. But then we had massive light issues. There was enough burned out that we wanted to just replace the string, but we could not find a replacement string that actually fit into the pre-drilled holes. So, and when we tried to widen the holes a little bit, it just made too much damage occur on the front. And so we ended up getting rid of it. And then when I saw her again and bought this one, I only bought this one because she told me what lights to get. But in that meantime, I had ordered that little one, but then I was like, it's so little and not impressive. I want a big one. And so I found this big multicolor one. But yeah, so that's how all these came to be. And then I have, I don't remember where the Nutcracker came from. I know that Santa is another one from Kohl's. There are 3 of my precious teddy bears that I buy from the teddy bear lady every year. You'll see more here in a second. And then I have a Santa stuffy and Rudolph stuffy that I don't think I got them anywhere special, but I originally got them to go with these crocheted milk cookie and carrot set that I found from somebody on Etsy. This is my FAO Swartz bear that I got in New York at the toy store. And then this snowman in the sleigh, this sleigh is actually one of those wood pieces from that same lady. It's all hand painted. It's really cool. And then this little snowman is a felted snowman that my aunt did for me. You can probably tell I have a couple lights out on this too, but those lights did not respond to me just changing the bulbs, so I don't know what's going on there. And then up here, hold on, I do have to make one slight adjustment. So then up here, these are our DVD racks. I put my, some more bears, and then I have these cute little gnomes that were made out of like winter Christmas sweaters. I'm not in love with them. The one that has the really tall hat is really unwieldy, so I might donate him. I have to have the bears here to keep them standing up straight. But yeah, so I just I just like to put this little bit up here too. Over the years, it could become a place where I put additional decor because I can't seem to stop adding decor to this. It's already a lot, I know. So we're gonna swing back this way. And this is my Christmas village. Well, more accurately, it is part of my Christmas village. I don't really have room to display all of my Christmas village. But my Christmas village, if you can see, is Stars Hollow. I found this 3D printed sign and gazebo from a seller on Etsy, and so I bought it. And all of my houses correspond to a business in Stars Hollow. So there at the end is a bed and breakfast, so that of course is the Dragonfly. And then that there next to the Dragonfly is a restaurant. And if you're familiar with Gilmore Girls, you can tell that's even kind of the shape of Luke's. So that's Luke's. Up here, we have a Gazette. And of course, Rory spent some time working at the Stars Hollow Gazette. And then we have a bookstore. And that, of course, is the Stars Hollow bookstore that Andrew runs. And then we have a church because there's a church in Stars Hollow. Kind of bummed. I did see a church that's like more in line with the shape of the church from Stars Hollow, but I was like, I can't really justify replacing it. And then, like I said, we have the gazebo and sign. And you notice I have all those like snowmen there. There's an episode where they do this snowman building contest. And then back here we have a bakery. So that, of course, is Weston's Bakery. And then we have a supermarket. And so that's Dosie's Market. Come back out for a... And then I have this picture up here, which is a Stars Hollow winter scene. So to just really drive home the point that it's Stars Hollow. But yeah. So now I'm gonna move to another space. Be right back. Okay, so this is my pass-through between my dining room and my living room. And you can see I have a couple like fake floral decor pieces out. And then these are brand new this year, although this concept is not brand new for me. When we first moved in here, I knew immediately I wanted to use this for large scale hanging ornaments. And so I bought a set. I mean, it wasn't like an official set, but I bought 5 big ornaments that all kind of went together. Well, 2 and 2 were duplicates, and then there was one in the middle that was different. So there was 3 different ornaments, but I had a total of 5 of them. And then I also put in 4 little candy canes as sort of spacers that were much higher up. But last year, one of my command hooks that I was using failed, and I never could get another command hook to stick there. So, and the last time that the command hook fell, instead of my ornament falling towards the living room, which is where the couch is, it fell towards the dining room and it hit the floor and broke. So I went looking for new ornaments, and I found these Christmas light ornaments, and I love them. So I actually installed some ceiling hooks so that we don't have the failing command hooks again. And then these came in, and I had to cut the ribbons because I don't like everything to be at the same height. I like a little bit of stagger. But yeah, so these are new this year. It was really annoying work to get the ribbons cut, and this is roughly the same size. It's not perfect. Even by an eye visual, it's not perfect, but oh well. So then on this slider here, I put up some lights. You can't see very many of them because of the way the curtains drape, but I still like them. Then the piece de la resistance. This is the thing that takes me forever. And I apologize. There's this that tree came from Costco, and I cannot get it, even though it's plugged into the wall. I can't get it to stay on for more than 6 hours. I don't know why it still only does 6 hours. I would see that if it was on battery, but anyway. So this is my dining room hutch. It's technically a bookshelf, and we got it from World Market, but I use it as a hutch. Normally on the outside, on the outside shelves, I have normal decor that I have up all year. But again, I pack it all up for Christmas, and then we'll come in closer. So that lamp is always there. And then I have just a cute little tree candle. This card here came from Dr. Christie. She embroidered cards last year. Like I said, it does glitter, and it spins the glitter. It's really pretty. I could turn it on. Well, actually, you know what? I'm not going to because it's set to come on when I need it to come on for entertaining tonight. That white deer, there's another one, came from Pier 1 Imports before they closed down. The Santa and the angel that's down there, way down there, those were actually, so the Santa was a tree topper for my husband's family, and the angel was one of my grandma's tree toppers. So we just display them. A couple of glass hurricanes and candle holders. And then that cranberry tree was actually the very first centerpiece that I ever bought for the first time I hosted Christmas. So I keep it. And then same with that one down there. I'll show you those when I get to the other side. But yeah, in here, so this decor, I mean, has come from all over. Some of this stuff was my grandma's, like this little elf, and there's another elf, and there's some polar bears. So yeah, so a lot of it did come from my grandma. That cross stitch back there was actually my Pinwis Smalls exchange, which is so cool because I actually own that pattern and now I don't have to stitch it. But yeah, there's one of my teddy bears that I mentioned. I have a total of 10 of them. This little We Believe in Santa Paws came from my ornament swap this year. And there's another teddy bear and a big lantern that, it's hard to see it in the bad lighting, but that was also a centerpiece one year. I'm really bad about like, oh, centerpiece, let me buy that and use it, and then I just want to hold on to it in the decor. I have at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have at least 5 things that were centerpiece decor. But yeah, I'll move to the other side now. Okay, I apologize. That was not on when I was giving you the full view. That's a really cool piece that I got in Las Vegas at one of the casinos gift shops. But yeah, just like more decor and like lit up with candles. There's our little elf. We don't use him in the traditional sense. Yep, more decor. Again, I don't remember where a lot of this stuff came from. More decor. And then now you can see this side better. Yeah, that tree was also a centerpiece one year. There's a better shot of the other deer and the angel tree topper. And then over here I have these light up pieces too. I think both these light up pieces here came from Kohl's. And then yeah, just more candles. It took me, I put batteries and everything yesterday. It took me an hour. Yep, an hour. Obscene. But yeah, so that is all my decorations. Hope you enjoyed this tour. See y'all in the next clip, hopefully with some actual stitching. It's been a little rough to stitch this week. But I'm about to start some parade progress videos because I have 2 whip parades in my, yeah, I think, no, maybe 3 whip parades in my Save for Later list. So, all right, see you on the next one. Bye. Hey, everyone. It is still Saturday, December 14th, and I was just, like, looking at how much footage I already had, considering with the addition of showing off my holiday decor, and I was like, you know what, I better do December over two videos because it's already quite long, so I'll try to be brief. I've been working on the Nutcracker by RATM. This is a Pictureless Plus fabric, but I don't remember what it's called, and I think I had to buy a half yard for this project because it's huge. It is a very big project. There's 30,000 stitches in this. This might be my largest project by stitch count. I'm pretty sure it is. When I picked it up, I had, gotta reach. So the whole body of her outfit was done. So this was all done. And then I had this little square and this triangle right here, and maybe like a couple stitches off of this motif. So since then, I've done the whole rest of the skirt, and I've just started on one of her legs. Yeah, it hasn't been a great week for stitching, mainly due to decor, sleep schedule issues. Yeah, but I'm hoping to get a good fair few stitches in today. Today I started on her leg, and my husband is entertaining his D&D game group today, so I will be downstairs stitching, watching Christmas movies, and yeah. And because Saturday is the end of my stitchy week. I think next year I'm going to change my stitchy weeks to be Monday through Sunday. But I couldn't make that change mid-year because then I would have to like recalculate all of my weeks. So, all right. I'm going to wrap this vlog up for now, get it posted, and then I'll pick up a new vlog to show you what I do for the rest of this month. Thank you all so much for being here, liking, commenting, subscribing, doing all those good YouTube things, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!